If there's a condition in your rental unit that could affect your health and safety, like rats or bed bugs, mold, broken air conditioning in the summer, or backed up plumbing, then your landlord generally has a legal duty to repair or remedy that condition.
There are two major exceptions to that rule. First, you need to be up to date on your rent. If you're behind on your rent, your landlord is not required to make repairs.
Second, a landlord isn't required to repair something if you, another tenant, or one of your guests broke it, unless it broke from normal wear and tear.
When you find a condition that needs repair, the first thing you should do is document the problem. At minimum, you should try to take photos or video.
If you live in a city with a code enforcement or code compliance department, call 311 to report the problem. They'll often send an investigator to examine and document the problem, which creates solid evidence that you can use later.
Another option is to call a repair person or an exterminator and have them examine the problem and give you an estimate for how much they would charge to fix it. That also creates evidence you can use.
To make your landlord act, you must give them notice by sending the notice to either the person who normally accepts your rent, like your property manager, or to the place where you normally pay your rent, if you mail it. You have two options for how to give notice. First, you can do it in writing by certified mail, return receipt requested, or by regular registered mail. If you give notice that way, then you're done. Even if your landlord tries to avoid receiving the letter, the law says a landlord is considered to have received the notice when the postal service has attempted to deliver the notice to the landlord at the address that you pay rent to.
Your second choice, if you don't send your original notice through certified mail, for instance, if you gave the notice through your online tenant portal, then you need to give your landlord a reasonable time to repair or remedy the condition, and if they don't, then give them a second written notice.
Once you give your landlord proper notice, they're required to make a diligent effort to fix the problem in a reasonable amount of time. The law begins with the assumption that 7 days is a reasonable amount of time to fix a problem.
If the landlord wants to disprove the assumption that 7 days was reasonable, then they have to explain why, pointing to factors like the date they received the notice, or the severity of the condition, or the availability of materials and labor. So a widespread problem caused by a natural disaster, for instance, is different than a routine rat infestation.
If your landlord doesn't make a diligent effort to fix the problem in a reasonable amount of time, then they've broken the law. In that situation, you have several solutions available to you, but I'll discuss the first two that are the most powerful. First, you can take your landlord to court before the closest justice of the peace and ask the judge for an order requiring the landlord to fix the problem, for a temporary reduction in rent, and for money damages. Or instead, second, you can choose to terminate your lease early. In this situation, you don't need to go to court for permission to terminate your lease. In fact, you're entitled to a refund of the rent from the time that you've already prepaid for the future, and a refund of your security deposit if you do leave early due to their failure to repair.